Um, it did not come to my surprise that the African Americans were more drawn to the Patriots, and this was just solely based on the fact that their main motivator was freedom. And they had already been in this oppressed system for so long with the Patriots that their hopes was just if they fought with the British, that just maybe their freedom could be granted. And this promise was made to them that they would be free if they fought with them. And the promise was not fulfilled, sadly. And they ended up, those who did end up after the war going to Britain, ended up right back in the same system, sadly. So even though it was more appealing to them, it was still they were still misinformed about their freedom, and they had a lot of fighting that they still had to do. But those who did stay and fight side by side with the Patriots, they were more drawn to some of the things that were in the Constitution. And the things in the Constitution were talking about how men should be free and created equally and all of these things. So they're like, hey, that's us, that appealed to them, and they were drawn to that too. But, at the same time, they were aware that these are the oppressors, and they knew that their freedom was definitely compromised, even if they did fight side by side with them. But because, the Patriots made it out like they were slaves to the system themselves, it drew in Africans, and it kind of caused them to sympathize with them a little bit. And so the few that did fight with the Patriots ultimately ended up facing the same consequences as the ones who fought with the British, and that was still um, being subjected to an oppressed system and fighting for their freedom.